Welcome to the Classic Lawn Show. With guests Eric Somerville from Squeegee Squad, Travis FINTEL from the Springfield SERTOMA Club, musical guest Justin Larkin, and here's your host, Kerry Carlson.
Welcome to the Classic Lawns Show. I'm Kerry Carlson, the owner of Classic Lawns, and you're probably asking, what is the Classic Lawns Show? Well, the Classic Lawns Show is a fun and informative little show that we're going to put on, and during each episode, we're of course going to be talking about lawns and stuff that's going on around your lawn, but we're also going to be having guests. And some of our guests are going to be people in the service industry around Springfield, business owners that do things around your house. So like window cleaners or tree companies or anything that has to do with the service industry around your house. Plus, we are going to be talking to people that do good in Springfield. So either a person or an organization that is doing some kind of good deed around the Springfield community. And you know what? If that wasn't enough, we're going to have live music. Yes, that's right, live music right here for you today. So without any further ado, I'll tell you what's going on with the show. So today, on our very first episode, we are going to have Eric and Melissa Somerville from the Squeegee Squad. They're going to be talking to us about windows and window cleaning and climbing ladders. And they've got some fun stories to tell, so we're going to be talking to them. And we're also going to be talking to Travis FINTEL, who is with the Springfield SERTOMA Club. The Springfield SERTOMA Club raises all kinds of money for children's charities in Springfield. You've probably heard of them with the Chili Cook-Off or Wing-A-Palooza, and we're going to have Travis as a guest. And then finally, our music guest is going to be Justin Larkin. So he's going to play 2 or 3 songs for us. We're going to have a good time. We'll be right back in just a few minutes, so stay tuned. See you in a minute. Hey, before we get to our guests, we got some great guests today. Eric Somerville with the Squeegee Squad, Travis FINTEL with the Springfield SERTOMA Club, and our musical guest, Justin Larkin. But before we get to that, I want to do our little quick 5 things you need to know right now. And so here's 5 real quick things. And these are about the spring application, early springtime stuff. So here's the 5 things you need to know. There's no chemical way to prevent broadleaf weeds. Broadleaf weeds are like dandelions, tin-bit, chickweed, and they pop up in your lawn on occasion, but there's no way to prevent those with any kind of chemical. So that's one thing I want you all to know. The second thing I want you to know is that the first application for lawn care companies is that it can be done anytime between like February 20th and April 15th. Everybody thinks that they're late when it doesn't get done until April 10th. That's not late. It doesn't make a difference if we put that first application down on March 1st or April 15th. It does the exact same thing for your lawn. So that's one thing we'd really like you to know. The third thing I'd like y'all to know is that all lawn companies, not just Classic Lawns, we all have a route. We try to work smarter and not harder. It makes no sense to crisscross all over the city trying to get things done. It wastes gas and time, and it makes us very inefficient. So we do our best work in some kind of route order. And this is why your friend on the north side of town might get his first application done 3 to 4 weeks before somebody on the south side of town does. But it's like I said, it doesn't make a difference. As long as it's done in that window, it can be done. That's always the right time. The fourth thing we'd like you to know about springtime is that with limited exceptions, you're wasting your time trying to seed your lawn in the spring. For one, we're putting down a pre-emergent, that's a bad word, Kerry, don't say that. Grassy weed preventer. We're putting down your grassy weed preventer, and that's going to knock down your seed. So that's one problem you have. The other problem we have with spring seeding is that it almost always fails, because you put that seed down and it comes up and it looks great in April and May and even through June possibly. But what happens around July 10th is it gets hot, Mother Nature turns the faucet off, and it just gets really, really dry. And those little baby roots of your spring seeding, they're shallow and immature, and they just burn up. And it doesn't matter how great of a job you do watering. Yes, it will help some, but most of the time they just burn up because it's too hot. They're too close to the surface and they burn up. So limit your spring seating to just very small areas. I always tell people something smaller than your dinner table. And the fifth and final thing I want you guys to know right now about the springtime is that pre-emergents only help prevent grassy weeds. And we're going to talk about that here in a minute too, but just you got to understand that we get phone calls all the time from people thinking that they need to get their pre-emergent down to help prevent dandelions. And that's not the way that works. You've got to put your grassy weed preventer down, and that's what prevents the grassy weeds like crabgrass, foxtail, and goosegrass. And the only way to prevent broadleaf weeds like dandelions and chickweed is to have a thick, healthy lawn. So we are applying fertilizer, we're seeding in the fall, we're making your lawn thick and full and healthy. That's what keeps the broadleaf weeds out. So I'll now get off my soapbox, and I hope this has been a peek behind the scenes, 5 things we'd like you to know. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Classic Lawn Show. I'm Kerry Carlson with Classic Lawns. Now it's time for our segment where we spotlight a local business that does service in the Springfield area. And with us today, we have Eric and Melissa Somerville from the Squeegee Squad. They are the local owners of the Squeegee Squad. Thanks for coming to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Hey, just real quick, can you tell us what the Squeegee Squad does? What's a quick synopsis of the Squeegee Squad?
I'll take that one.
All right.
We do for Springfield and surrounding areas, we do window cleaning, power washing, gutter cleaning for residential and commercial.
Great. Okay. And how long have you owned Squeegee Squad?
We've had Squeegee Squad since 2012, July of 2012. We've been doing window cleaning since 2010.
So do you climb up and clean windows, Melissa? What do you do?
Absolutely not. No. I'm more office admin.
Office admin. Good. So you field calls, like if somebody calls Squeegee Squad, they might get you when they call?
They might.
Awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, what do you like best about cleaning windows?
I think the best part of what we do is the team that we're cultivating from it and the environment that people can get together and provide excellent customer service. Window cleaning is just something we're good at, that we train, we do it every day, and the knowing that we can go in and have a professional, team-oriented atmosphere creates an ultimate customer experience that people expect.
Awesome. How many employees do you guys currently have right now?
We currently have 4, and we are
Always looking.
always looking
Yes.
for incredible people to join our team.
Mm-hmm.
Great personalities. We're wanting fun and just professional. The ultimate customer experience, and we want to provide that for them. So we are always looking. We have an Indeed post out right now. So we are
Awesome.
We are wanting to grow our team.
Perfect. I saw on your website, which is a great website, guys. Tell them what the website is.
SqueegeeSquad417.com.
And squeegee, I had to learn how to spell that. It's a fun word, but it's definitely one you have to learn how to spell.
Yeah.
So on the website, I noticed that customers can just go and actually kind of get a bid themselves.
They can.
So tell me how that works.
So there are a couple options. People can go to the website and they can request a free estimate. It comes to our inbox. We get in touch with the customer and we can do it that way. Or they can go and get an actual online estimate if they enter the square footage of their home, have a few questions to go through, or if they want to go through and do a window count, they can do that as well, and that'll give them their estimate.
I know you don't like giving out prices per se, especially on a show like this, but like an average homeowner that, what would they spend to clean their windows?
Well, that's a great question.
I've thought about it all night.
No, the challenge is there's not an average home. It's not like we do. I mean, there's 1,500 square feet. There's 10,000 square feet, and everything else. I mean, there are some windows that are all like historic homes with storms and lots of windows to like the 80s when they didn't really do windows. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of...
There's a wide range, and that's why they need to go online and look
That's
at the bid
why-
or give it a call to come out and look at it. Perfect. What's your favorite part of the job? You said you do window cleaning, gutter cleaning, power washing. You guys do a lot of things to help around people's house to make their house nice and clean. They clean my windows. They clean Classic Lawns windows. They do a great job. So what's your favorite part of the job that you guys do?
It's the customer experience, the customer satisfaction. It's knowing that you've taken something, and the guys, the crew that we have is just amazing, and they feel a sense of I don't know what the word is, but they feel achievement when they can take something that is, we got some ugly windows out there, some really dirty windows, and to make them clean. And they have there's a satisfaction.
There's something cathartic about cleaning, right?
It's kind of like having a nice green lawn.
Right.
It just makes you feel good.
It's nice to pull back up and see the lawn's greened up since the last time you're there. You pull back up and the windows are clean. There's something cathartic about cleaning things, isn't there?
Yeah.
But so how long you've been? 2012, you said, is when you started Squeegee Squad. Why window cleaning? What brought you to windows and cleaning windows?
Well, the recession, 2008 recession. Okay. The recession lasted for almost 3 years, and we were at the end of 2010, and I'd been laid off from a plant here in Springfield, and we were kind of all over the place trying to figure out where we were going to land. And so I did some research, had a knack for it already. Like before I got paid to do it, I would just do it. So, and I was pretty good at it. So I got some more training, and that's how it's a recession-proof and apparently a pandemic-proof
awesome.
Business. So it's strong. We didn't lay off any of our guys during that time, and it's the business model that fit. So,
and you do not just homeowners lawns, homeowners. I see. I'm so used to saying lawns. You not only just do homeowners houses and clean homeowners, but you also said you do residential. Is there a percentage of residential to commercial that you guys do?
I'd say it's really probably pretty 50-50.
Yeah, it used to be, when we first started, it was heavy residential, and I'd say over the last 3 or 4 years, it's pretty much evened out 50-50, close to commercial and residential.
Awesome. Before we get done here, we're going to do our 4 to go. But before we do the 4 to go, just tell everybody how they can get a hold of you guys. Give them your names, phone numbers again. Just let's let everybody know how you can get a hold of Squeegee Squad.
They can go to squeegeesquad417.com. They can call 417-522-9220 and talk to a real live person that will answer the phone and help them with whatever questions they have, and we would be glad to take care of anything we can for them.
Awesome. So make sure you go to that, squeegeesquad417.com. Now it's time for our 4 to go. We're going to ask you 4 quick questions. You just tell us the first thing that pops to your mind. These are probably more for Eric than they are Melissa, but just tell us the first thing that pops to your mind when I ask these questions. You ready to go?
Ready.
All right, here we go. Number 1, how many ladders do you own?
I would probably put 30.
30, okay.
Yeah.
I own 4, I think. Are your windows clean?
They are.
Awesome.
Yes.
My lawn still has a few weeds, so sometimes you can't get to your own stuff, but that's awesome.
I just put it on the schedule.
I should do that. Thank you. Good tip. All right, the third question. What's the highest you've ever been when cleaning windows?
Poplar Bluff Regional Medical Facility was a 12-story drop. So it was either that or we did a building in Joplin, but 12 stories, I would say.
Wow, that's 120 feet, something like that, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's why I stay on the ground. That's the ground, not the grass.
Or the grass.
Grass is good.
Ground is my friend.
Yeah.
So the final four questions. When were you the most afraid cleaning windows?
Oh, wow, that is okay. I was a newbie, and I was on an extension ladder, and I was doing a far reach, and the ladder did give out on me, and there wasn't anything low, and it went down about 20 feet. Rode that thing like a champ,
Awesome.
but scared all the same. And
Yes.
I walked away from it. I was shaken up a little bit, but that was probably the scariest.
I have my own ladder story, and there's a reason I don't climb ladders because of a ladder story. And it's very similar to that. I had the Chevy Chase moment from Christmas
yeah.
Vacation
Yeah.
with the ladder, chick, 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 chick.
Yep.
And that's what happened to you.
Yeah.
It's not fun, is it?
Well, it was more of a kick out. The whole thing just
that's
kind of
even-
went
Yeah.
like that. So it was an experience,
Yeah.
but one that you don't forget, and one that you I had to be challenged to go and recoup from that.
Well, Eric, Melissa, thank you so much for coming to the Classic Lawn Show. The first guest on the first episode of Classic Lawn Show.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys coming.
Appreciate our yard.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, now it's time for our segment, the backyard stories. In the service industry, we all have a story that happens to us. We go into somebody's backyard or some customer's house and something crazy happens. It could be something weird, something funny, something strange, or just something completely bat poop crazy. Eric, what's your backyard story?
Well, it was at the end of a job, and I went in to collect, and their daughter, who was, I'm sure she was very nice, but she had a check for it, the clean, and she was on her bed with not a lot of clothes on. And she wanted me to come and get the check from the middle of the bed right by like her thigh. And I was just like, on second thought, I have another window. Let me go check that real quick. And by the time I got back, I guess the moment was over, and I got the check and I got out of there. So that was
Not technically a backyard story, but
it was enough awkwardness to cut some tension there.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the story. Appreciate you guys coming today. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the Classic Lawn Show. We'll get back to the show in just 1 second. I want to tell you about one of our newer services that we offer. We offer a service that's called the Mow Reducer Treatment. And you'll say, what? What's a Mow Reducer Treatment? Well, this time of year right now, which is like April to June 1st, the lawns are growing like crazy. And it seems like you have to mow every 3 to 5 days. You have to bag it. It's a pain in the rear end, right? But we have a treatment that actually slows the grass blades down and makes it so it's much easier to mow. Yes, you still have to mow every 7 to 10 days, but that's a lot better than mowing every 3 to 5 days. So we can put this application down for you. And one of the other benefits is that this application redirects the energy from the shoots to the roots. So all that energy the plant spends growing up, it now spends growing down. So in turn, you get a thicker, fuller, darker green lawn, which is why we actually call this application the Turf Builder / Mow Reducer application. So you want to know how much that is? It's simple, guys. We've made it very simple. You can get the Turf Builder Mow Reducer application for the same price as your regular application. And we need to apply it sometime between April 15th and May 15th. So if you want this application, please give us a call. We'd love to put it down for you. And hey, you know what? If you got somebody mowing your lawn, yes, you still want this treatment. Your mower doesn't want to have to bag it or go over the lawn 2 extra times. We have mowers that actually call us and ask us to put it down on their customers for them. So just give us a call or check us out at classiclawns.com and we'll get you set up on the Turf Builder / Mow Reducer app. Thanks. Welcome back to the Classic Lawn Show. I'm Kerry Carlson. I'm here with our guest, Travis FINTEL with the Springfield Sertoma Club. We're going to take this little time here to talk about what the Springfield Sertoma Club does for the community, for kids around Springfield. So Travis, thank you for showing up.
Oh, great to be here. Always excited to talk about Sertoma and what we can do for it.
Awesome. So I know what Sertoma is because I am a member of the Springfield Sertoma Club. But for our audience here, will you please tell us what is the Springfield Sertoma?
Well, Sertoma is an acronym for Service to Mankind. We basically, the local Sertoma clubs, the Springfield Club, we focus on helping children's charities. We like to put on events. We do a variety of events from Wingapalooza, Sertoma Chili Cook-Off, and we have several new events coming up this year. But there's lots of things that we do to try to raise money to help charities. I think in the past few years we've helped over 30 different charities just from our events and the money that we raise at those events.
Awesome. So you guys raise money for the children's charities. What's the biggest children's charity that you guys give to?
So we work with, I'd say the majority of our funds are, at least for the chili cook-off, goes to the Boys and Girls Club of Springfield. But there's a lot of other smaller charities, Hope Foundation, CAC. There's probably, like I said, almost 30 different charities that we've supported over the years. But I would say a majority of our funds probably go towards the Boys and Girls Club of Springfield. They have like 5 locations in town. There's a lot of need in our community for support for the children in this area. So, and there's a lot of great charities out there, and we're just trying to help out a little bit and help them fund the activities and things that they do.
Great. I obviously know what the chili cook-off is. We have a booth every year at the chili cook-off. I think we've done it for 8 years in a row. This year, 2021, was the first year they were unable to do a chili cook-off because of COVID. But for the people that don't know what the chili cook-off is, can you kind of give them a little synopsis of what it is?
Yeah, this would have been our 40th year for the chili cook-off. So this has been an event that's been growing every year. We started back in 1982, and it started as basically a small group chili cook-off in just a parking lot, some different things, and it's grown over the years. It's taken 40 years to get this to this point, but we're at a position now where we have the Expo Center. We have 3 levels in the Expo Center. We have 11 bands throughout the day. We have over 80 teams that will compete. 126 booth spaces. There's corporations that participate. There's bands that participate. There's a lot of great live music. I mean, it's an event. It's a day, and it's really a lot of fun. But it's grown year after year. It's almost sometimes the nickname is like the Springfield Class Reunion. You get to come and see all the people that you haven't seen in a while. But it's really an exciting event. It's just incredible music, incredible food. Everybody walks out of there full, and they have a great time, and it's just really fun to see the faces and how people love the event.
Right. And like one of the reasons we love doing it, and I got a couple of our trophies here because we've won first place for raising the most money for our category several years. These are just 2 of them. We have more. And we have even bigger ones for other things. But it's just so much fun to go and decorate the booths and see what people come up with and the craziness that they do with their booths and how they just try to get attention and raise money to help kids. So that's Chili Cook-Off. You guys also do Wing-A-Palooza. So it's a very similar event, but kind of tell us what's Winga about.
Yeah. Well, so like I said, we do multiple events. The Chili Cook-Off works. There's actually several clubs in town that help put that on. Springfield SERTOMA puts on Wing-A-Palooza. And that's kind of grown over the same model of Chili Cook-Off. Wing-A-Palooza has been around for about 20 years now. This would have been our 20th year this past November, but unfortunately that was put off as well. But Winga is a wing competition, local restaurants, and we opened it up to corporate teams, kind of like Chili does. So it's not just restaurants competing anymore. So if people have their own recipes, they can actually have a booth and with their own sauces and actually can compete. So Winga has really grown the last 7 or 8 years. The amount of money that we're raised at these events is well over between $50,000 and $100,000 each year that goes to the local charities. And it's just, Winga has also got some of the best bands. The bands they compete to try to play our events, and they all provide their time for free. And then the teams and the restaurants that participate, it's just really an exciting event. Right.
And you do bring in a bunch of money. You kind of touched on a little bit of the money thing there, but you don't have to tell it the biggest total or whatever, but tell us again, like how much money does Chili bring in, and how much money does Winga bring in on average, and all of that goes to children's charities here in Springfield. So what does Chili bring in and Winga bring in usually?
So, with Chili, like I said, has been around for almost 40 years. So Chili is one of the largest events in Springfield. Overall, we have raised about $2.8 million in the last 39 years. We were hoping this would have been our 40th year. We were hoping to break that $3 million mark, but that's over a long period of time. Each year, we raise about $100,000 to $125,000, $30,000. So that's Chili Cook-Off. That's the profit side of it. We get sponsorships from our events, and we're able to take a lot of sponsors and take their money, and if they contribute $1, we're able to turn that into $4 that we can give to our charities and things like that. So chili cook-off, that's one example. Wing-A-Palooza has also grown. The last couple of years, it's been around the $75,000 to $100,000 range in profit that we raise for the children's charities, and that enables us to give to a wide range of charities. So it's really great. We have some new events coming up this year as well. So it's lots of great stuff.
Awesome. We mentioned COVID a couple of different times and how you had to cancel a couple of events. I mean, what does that do to the charities that you're doing all this work for? How has that affected everything?
Yeah, so it's really put a hold on what we can give as an organization. We use those funds directly to give to the charities. So without these events, we haven't been able to have our grant program this year. So directly affecting, $30,000 of gifting that we give to those other charities. So that basically has disappeared. Chili Cook-Off, also another example. A lot of money for the Boys and Girls Club. It's really affects them dramatically, and we are coming up with some new ideas. One of the new things, the committees come together with a new event that it's kind of a golf tournament with the new big shots. It's going to be opening in June, so that's a new event that we're hoping is going to replace some of that funds that we give directly to the Boys and Girls Club. So that'll support them directly.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to that event. That should be a lot of fun at the new Big Shots.
Yeah.
It should be tons of fun. It's a neat place. If you've never been to one of those, it's awesome. Finally, what can people do to help? We've talked about the COVID hurting things, not having the chili cook-off. Is there something people can do right now to help Springfield Sertoma raise money for children's charities?
Yeah, we are always looking for sponsorships for events. We have the Big Shots coming up. We are also looking to do a skeet shooting tournament. We have a Boys and Girls Club golf tournament that we support. But supporting the Boys and Girls Club directly, if you go to Boys and Girls Club of Springfield, you can donate to them directly. That's really important. They're really needing some extra help. They've done a lot of things throughout COVID, feeding the students while at home, a lot of delivering food and things like that. There's so much help that's still needed in our community. But you can go to boysandgirlsclub.com. You can go to Springfield Sertoma and check out the events and sponsor our events. We're definitely going to need sponsors for the new golf tournament. So there's other ways you can help. You can volunteer at our events when we have them. You can actually become a member.
Yeah. One really great way that everybody can help, because you all do this. I know you all do. Everybody shops on Amazon. But when you shop on Amazon, you can actually help the Springfield Sertoma Club. Tell them how they can do that.
Yeah, so Amazon has what's called a Smile. It's instead of just going to plain Amazon.com, you go to smile.amazon.com. All the prices, everything is the same, but you pick a charity that you want to support. And typically 1% of all your purchases from Smile will go towards that charity. So whenever I buy for my business or any of the things that I do, I go to the Smile version of the Amazon, and you select Springfield Sertoma as the charity that you want to give to. And then we actually get a contribution. And right now our contributions have been in upgrades of $50 to $75 a month just from a few members buying. And if more people can support that, it just increases that, and that's more money that we can use for our grant programs.
Right, so instead of going to Amazon.com, go to smile.amazon.com and pick Springfield Sertoma as your charity. Yeah. And then that way, all the prices are the same, like you said, and money actually goes, and you can just actually help the children in Springfield sitting on your couch.
Yeah,
in your underwear if you want. So.
It is great because once you set it up the first time, Amazon has features just now that it will remember that you are a Smile customer. So when you go to the regular Amazon site, it will direct you to the Smile site.
All right, so that's like the easiest way to help out with Springfield Sertoma. He gave you a whole bunch of the other ways to help out with Springfield Sertoma. So please go check out the website. Anytime you see a Sertoma event come up, please help out. Travis, I really appreciate you coming. But before you go, we got the 4 to go. So 4 quick questions. Just tell me the first thing that pops in your mind. So you ready?
Yep.
Question number 1. What is your favorite part of the chili cook-off?
Oh, wow.
I mean, you got beer, you got chili, you got music, you got the booths. What's your favorite?
I tell you, I'm usually running around a lot of the chili cook-off, so a lot of times I don't get a chance to even eat most of the chili or even hear a lot of the music because we were doing a lot of the background stuff. But walking through the crowd and seeing how much fun people are having at our events, I think that's the best part about it. People really have a great time when they come to the chili cook-off. They enjoy seeing their friends. You know, people will bring their families early in the event. People will stay late to hear some great music. It just really is. You have a lot of different talent that comes in and plays the events, but you just love to see the energy in the people.
It's fun. I mean, we kind of joke and say drinking for the kids, you know, but it's really is for a good cause, and it's the biggest party in Springfield. It's tons of fun. Yeah. So question number 2, after the Classic Lawns booth at the chili cook-off, who is your favorite chili cook-off booth?
Probably, is it Consolidated Electric? They have Associated Electric. Yeah, Associated Electric. They always put on a big booth. It's usually, I mean, they've gone as high as 2 stories in the expo center.
Right, we're always competing with them. Yeah. They go higher, we go higher. And I never can win. They always beat me going higher.
There's a lot of great. The Springfield Fire Department comes out. The police department come out. They all have great booths. But yeah, there's several groups that just really go all out. And like your booth has been awesome for several years. We'd love to have you back. Yeah,
I'll give you a little money for that later. Third question: chili or wings? Which do you prefer?
I actually, usually at the events, I eat more wings than I do chili.
But I mean, I'm just on a natural normal day.
On wings.
Your wings. Yeah. All right. All right. When it comes to chili and wings, do you like them hot or sissy style?
I'm more of a traditional. I like the buffalo wings.
Oh, right in the middle.
Yeah.
There.
No, well, I do like the buffalo wings, and then urban cheese all the time. That's probably my go-to.
Okay. Great. Well, thanks again for coming, Travis. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Check out Springfield Sertoma, Chili Cook-Off, Wingapalooza, any event Sertoma's having. Please go check it out. Thanks.
Sounds good. Thanks, good.
Hey, guys. Thanks for watching the Classic Lawn Show. We'll get back to the show in just a second here, but I just wanted to tell you guys about our merch store. Yes, we have a merch store. You know, everybody loves our slogan, the growing grass and smoking weeds. They think it's hilarious. Everybody asks us about our shirts. Where can they get one? And you know what? They're all up on our website. You can get one at any time. Go to classiclawns.com, go up to the menu up there. It says merch. Check out our cool merch. It's all right there. So here's a couple of our favorite shirts. Obviously, we have the koozies there. You can go check out the koozies anytime. But this is probably our most popular shirt, the High Times. Which really what it says is mow high and water 2 times per week. It's just giving you good instructions on how to do a lawn. And of course, all our shirts have the growing grass and smoking weeds on the back. We have this shirt in men's, we have it in women's V-neck, we have it in women's tank top. Just like this is a very popular item with ladies. They love the tank tops. We also have our second most popular shirt, which is the whiskey bottle ripoff. We have those in women's tanks, men's shirts, women's shirts, we have it all. And then probably our third favorite shirt would be this one right here, the I Heart Grass with the Classic Lawns logo in there. People love this shirt for some reason. I've been told it has a double entendre. I don't know. But hey, just go to our website, classiclawns.com, go to our merch store. You can get any of these shirts, order them today, pick one up, be the envy of all your friends. Thanks, guys. Hey, welcome back to the Classic Lawns Show. I'm Kerry Carlson with Classic Lawns. We have a musical guest today. It's Justin Larkin, justinlarkinmusic.com. He does solo gigs all over town in Springfield and the surrounding Ozarks area. He's going to play a few songs for us, but before he starts playing, I want to ask him a few questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. When did you start playing music?
Oh, when I was about, I want to say 14 years old.
14?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you just pick it up naturally, or did you have lessons?
I got hit by a truck.
Hit by a truck?
I was a skateboard kid, and then I couldn't skate anymore, so I learned how to play guitar while I was recovering in a wheelchair.
So you weren't cool enough to just playing skateboard. You also became a musician too. So I was never that cool ever.
I was pretty lucky to get hit by a truck, I guess. Yeah. Not a lot of people could say that.
Yeah. When did you realize you kind of had something with the music, that you had something special?
Oh, I guess somewhere in the middle there. Maybe I'm just stubborn, but I just kept going with it and kept trucking with it. And I used to play like on street corners and stuff, and eventually, I would say probably whenever the people in the businesses were like, hey, why don't you play inside? Why don't we pay you to play inside so you don't have to play on the street anymore?
That's awesome.
So maybe around that point.
Who's one of your favorite musicians? Who influenced you to do music? Why did you do music? What influenced you?
It's just always what made sense to me. Ever since I was little, I just always gravitated towards. I remember I raided my parents' tape collection and pulled out the Beatles and the rest is history. You know, I was probably in 2nd grade at the time.
Awesome, awesome. You're a really great singer. You can play the guitar. Who's your favorite singer?
Changes every day. I like Chris Cornell a lot. I love the Beach Boys. I like a little bit of everything. Kind of depends on my mood, you know.
Awesome, awesome. Well, are you ready to play a few songs for us?
Sure, yeah.
All right. What's this first song about?
This first song's called No Gravestone, and I wrote it after I was just kind of looking around, just sitting on my phone, and I was reading about how there's a biodegradable urn that when you die, you get buried, and then slowly you grow into a tree. And I don't know, that concept was just cool to me, so I decided to kind of take it and run with it. And I wrote a song kind of revolving around the concept of reincarnation.
All right. Look forward to it.
Reincarnation, I guess.
Let's hear it.
All right.
You can tell everybody to find shelter in the shade. As the sun hangs in my branches, my eternal bed is made. When the earth is my bed sheets and my body is a shell. My rings count the stories only time can tell. 'Cause I don't want no gravestone when I go, and you could play on a tree. I don't want no gravestone when I go. Call my name for me. Call my name for me, yeah. Well, after September, if you should cut me down, I'll keep you warm by the fire. My embers kiss the ground, yeah. 'Cause I don't want no gravestone when I go, and you can play on a tree, yeah. Don't want no gravestone when I go. Call my name for me, yeah, yeah. Call my name for me.
Hey, that was great. That was great. Awesome. I really appreciate that song. Hey, what's the next song? You got time to play one more?
Oh yeah, I think I got some time.
All right. What's this song about?
Oh, this is called Nowhere is a Place, and this song's kind of about figuring out who you are, being young. I wrote this song about 9 years ago, and kind of about appreciating your friends that pick you up when you're down, and also kind of about living out of a car a little
All
bit.
right.
A little bit of car living in there too.
Awesome. I've heard this song. It's a great song. I love it. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever heard you play. So
thank
let's get to it. Let's hear it.
Well, darling, I was planning every morning for the rest of my days, waking to the sunrise, casting light upon your face. But that ain't me. No, it just ain't me. place to go. Yeah, I could hammer down and worn out chords for the rest of the day. That meant I had a slotted chance to take a little pace. That's okay. And I'm not ashamed. There's always a clock that's ticking somewhere, going about to pass. And I'd rather spend time burning bridges than time kissing ass. That's just me. Tell me your story. Because there's always another story yet to be told. Each day unfolds. And somewhere there is an angel about to make it right when you fall in line. Yes, somewhere there is an angel bound to make it right when you fall in my life.
Hey, welcome back. We just heard 2 songs from Justin Larkin. If you love this stuff, go check him out on his website, justinlarkinmusic.com. He's also on Facebook, Instagram. He plays live all over Springfield and the Ozarks. I'm begging you, I love that song, Nowhere's a Place. Will you play one more for us?
I would love to.
All right, what are you going to play now?
I'm gonna play a song called "When You Were Down."
When You Were Down. Well, that sounds like me every day, but what's this one about?
I wrote this song after my daughter woke up. She had a bad dream. She said she was fighting monsters, and I kind of took that and ran with it and turned it into a song to kind of help her feel better whenever she was down.
Perfect. Hey, I really appreciate you coming and playing music for us, Justin. Hey, you were in a band called Mood Ring Circus, and my wife and I would love to go watch you guys play. It's one of our favorite bands with the original music that's ever been in Springfield, in my opinion. And in fact, I loved it so much that I stole your song. Well, I've asked permission, and to be the beginning of every show for the Classic Launch Show is a song you wrote called "Bleed Out." I took all the lyrics off, so we don't have to get to hear you sing, but I love the song so much, and it works perfect for our intro. So I really appreciate you writing that song and letting me use it.
Absolutely, man. My pleasure. I'm glad that it's getting some use.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's hear one more song.
All right.
All right.
Up at night, sometimes I wonder what it is you're dreaming about. Do you wake up in the morning fighting monsters, or you find before you hit the ground? The night before last, a buried butterfly. The highest point of the tallest mountain range. The sky is a strange Time is gonna humble everyone. Give yourself enough to go at your own pace.
All right, we just heard 3 great songs from Justin Larkin with justinlarkinmusic.com. We're going to do the 4 to go right now, which is just 4 quick questions. I'm going to ask you 4 quick questions. Just tell me the first thing that pops to your mind, and then just ready to go. All right?
All right.
All right. Number 1, you've been in a band and you've been solo. Which do you prefer?
Oh, I love them both. I can't decide.
No, you got to decide.
Oh, well, you know, they both have their fun. I like to bounce ideas off of other players, and I like to play songs different each time I play them. So it's always fun to have that spirit of collaboration that comes with playing in a group. But I also like playing solo because, you know...
You don't have to split the money.
Well, that's the thing, but there's also, you know, like I can... If I forget the lyrics to a song, I can be like, well, this chord's the same chord as this one in this other song, so then I'll just segue into that song, and I don't have to tell anybody what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, I can just kind of make it up.
All right, question 2, you ready?
Sure.
All right, Hendrix or Clapton?
Hendrix.
Awesome, love it. Question 3, what's your favorite venue you've ever played?
Oh, man. Man, there's been so many cool venues over the years. I really enjoyed playing the Fox Theater downtown Springfield. Was a lot
Awesome.
of fun.
Yeah, I bet that was. Yeah.
And the Galois too. Honestly, playing the Galois was. We did the Mood Ring Circus did the Imagine concert, and that was incredible because there was like over 1,000 people there, and I've seen a lot of amazing shows at the Galois Theater.
Right.
It's a beautiful theater, and getting to be on the other side of the barricade was pretty amazing. So.
Cool. Question 4, final question. What venue do you want to play? Like, what's the venue where you know you've made it? Is there one that you kind of have in mind that this is the one?
Oh, I don't know. The first one that pops in my head is the Ryman in Nashville.
Awesome.
It'd be pretty fun.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you coming and being on the very first episode of the Classic Launch Show. Thanks a bunch.
Absolutely, man.
Thanks. Hey guys, thanks for watching the first episode of the Classic Lawn Show. Hey, right now I want to just tell you a little bit about Classic Lawns. We do the lawn applications, fertilize, treat for weeds, make the lawns green and pretty. We do the aerating and seeding in the fall. But we have a newer service that we've done for the last couple of years, and I want to tell you guys about it. It's the sprinkler service. We offer a sprinkler startup, shutdown, and the backflow test, and any kind of sprinkler repairs you could need. We do a really thorough job. We have a neat way of booking now. You can book right on our website. Go to classiclawns.com, go to the sprinkler page, and you can book an appointment with us at any point right there from the website. So if you need anything done with sprinklers, just please keep us in mind, Classic Lawns. Thanks. Welcome back to the Classic Lawns Show. I'm Kerry Carlson, the owner of Classic Lawns, and here's our little news desk. In this little segment here, we're going to just kind of talk to you about what's going on in lawns right now, kind of talk about topics that's important about your lawn. So right now it's mid-April, and so much is happening around your lawn. Grass is green, weeds are plentiful, trees are blooming. You know, and here at Classic Lawns, we just wrapped up our early spring lawn application. And now the green lawns are getting lush and they're filling in and looking really super green. We've also applied our first grassy weed preventer, and we've treated broadleaf weeds. So the things you can do out there for your lawn right now, just make sure you're mowing high, mow it often, and just enjoy the green lawns. If you have any questions, always give us a call. Today, I would like to talk about a dirty word. Well, at least a dirty word to us, and it needs to change. And the word is thrown around flippantly all over town this time of year in the spring, and we feel it's completely misused. You know, what word am I speaking of? What word do you think is so dirty, Carrie? What is it? Please tell us. Well, the word is pre-emergent. Yes, pre-emergent. So, you know, Shakespeare once asked, "What's in a name?" I believe he then asked, shall we call it a pre-emergent or a grassy weed preventer?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't care what you call it, a pre-emergent by any name would still only prevent grassy weeds. you know what, if I had a nickel for every time I heard a customer erroneously say, hey, I want to make sure you get my pre-emergent down, because this is how customers sound. I want to make sure you get my pre-emergent down so I don't get any dandelions. You know, if I had a nickel for every time they said that, I'd have something like $100. You know, I lost count somewhere around 1,942 times back in 2004. So my point is that I want to quit calling it a pre-emergent. We apply this product twice a year in the spring, but from this day forward, instead of calling it a pre-emergent, it shall now be called Grassy Weed Preventer, or GWP for short. So what's all this confusion about? Well, I'll tell you. As a lawn industry, we have confused our customers. The vast majority of you believe that a pre-emergent, oh, that's such a dirty word, pre-emergent application will prevent broadleaf weeds like dandelions, clover, and henbit. However, it does not. Pre-emergent only prevents grassy weeds like crabgrass, foxtail, goosegrass. So that's my reasoning for christening the new name, Grassy Weed Preventer. So now you're asking, what's the difference between a broadleaf weed and a grassy weed? I'm so glad you asked. So here we go. I could get super duper technical and break down the differences between monocots, grassy weeds, and dicots, broadleaf weeds, but I'll try to keep it simple. The simplest way to explain it is broadleaf weeds are typically the plants in your lawn that look like flowers. Dandelions, chickweed, clover, henbit. Those are your broadleaf weeds. Grassy weeds are plants that look more like your turf grass. They do not have a showy flower, and their leaf shapes are very similar among species. You know, they look like bluegrass and foxtail, but they're ugly crabgrass, foxtail, orchard grass, and Johnson grass. Those are all examples of grassy weeds. And here's where I believe the confusion comes from, folks. Many times people will look at a weed like crabgrass or Johnson grass and mistakenly call it a broadleaf weed because compared to their turf grass, the blades are really wide. So they inaccurately call it a broadleaf weed, and it's not. It's a grassy weed. So why is this important? Why am I explaining all of this to you? Because Grassy Weed Preventer, formerly known as pre-emergent, does a great job of preventing grassy weeds like crabgrass and foxtail. Grassy Weed Preventer does not, and I repeat, does not prevent broadleaf weeds like dandelions. I know, now you got another question, right? So you're just like, well, how do you prevent broadleaf weeds? Well, the short answer is we don't. While the Grassy Weed Preventer, GWP, may suppress a few broadleaf weeds, it does not prevent them. And I'm gonna say this real loud here. There is no chemical way to prevent broadleaf weeds from your lawn. There's nothing I can put down on your lawn. There's nothing anybody else can put down on your lawn. There's nothing you can go get at Lowe's or Home Depot to put down on your lawn to prevent broadleaf weeds from coming up. So the only way to prevent broadleaf weeds from coming up is to have a thick and healthy lawn, that's what we do. We come out and fertilize your lawn, help you seed it, aerate it. Those are all things that's gonna make your lawn thicker and fuller, and that's gonna reduce the number of broadleaf weeds you have. Of course, a few broadleaf weeds might pop up in between applications, even in the thickest lawns, but we have free service calls. So just give us a call. We'll come out and take care of them. And then finally, what I want to talk about is killing your cousin. Yeah, killing your cousin. You ever want to kill your cousin? I've had like 5 that I'd like to kill. My dad's one of 17 kids, so I have about 64 first cousins on that side. And there's probably more than 5 now that I think about it. But anyway, so what do you mean kill your cousin? Well, here we go. It's important to apply the Grassy Weed Preventer as a preventative. Again, we don't want to call it a pre-emergent, the Grassy Weed Preventer. You need to apply it before the crabgrass and goosegrass germinate and come up in your lawn. Because if the crabgrass, foxtail, goosegrass does come up in your lawn, it is very, very, very difficult to kill. While broadleaf weeds are very, very easy to knock out with the broadleaf weed control, grassy weeds are very, very hard. And I like to say it's like trying to come up with a potion that both you and your cousin can drink, but it only kills your cousin. It's pretty hard to come up with something like that. There's too much genetic similarity. So that's why you need to put your Grassy Weed Preventer down in the spring. And the rule is you need to have 2 treatments of the crabgrass preventer, Grassy Weed Preventer, before June 1st. And you want them about 6 weeks apart. So if you work backwards, the first one can be done anytime between March 1st and April 15th. And the second one, you want to put down some time between April 15th and June 1st. So to wrap things up here, I'll give you a few more unnecessary Shakespeare references. Hamlet once said, "There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking that makes it so." And I may be mistaken, but I believe Hamlet was trying to say is that any plant growing in an unwanted area is a weed. I know that's what he meant. So at Classic Lawns, we believe all plants are beautiful as long as they are growing where we want them to grow. So there's your little history lesson about crabgrass preventer and why we call it grassy weed preventer. Don't ever use that dirty word again. I don't want to hear it. It's not the P word, it's grassy weed preventer. Thanks a bunch, guys.